This podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. It is not intended to cause or induce breach of an existing agency agreement.
This is the Victoria Real Estate Podcast. Hello and welcome to the Victoria Real Estate Podcast, where we discuss everything Victoria Real Estate. I am Adrian Maclaren, and I'm joined by
Vincent Baart
and
David Steinberg.
And me and Vince are real estate agents on the CityNest team at Remax Camosun.
I think it's Vince and I.
Vince and I? Okay, well.
No, I'm saying
Yeah,
let's
we're
riff
off to-
on it. No,
we're off
I'm
to a
actually,
bad start.
Off to a start. We're off to a start.
And David, do you want to
I'm from Olympic Mortgage.
Perfect. And I've been having more and more people kind of reach out and be like, oh, Adrian, I don't want to bother you. I know you're busy. Like, do you handle real estate questions? Yes. We're real estate agents. We're mortgage professionals.
What do they think you did?
So anyway, if you do have questions, please reach out, message us on the Instagram, Victoria Real Estate Podcast, or on our personals, or text us or email. Anything works. Now, before we get started, I actually have some trivia for you guys.
Oh, trivia.
Yep. So Vince, do not look at my screen. I have a separate doc for our questions, but
How organized you are. This is great.
To start us off with our trivia, how old? And ding in, give me your answer. How old is the oldest standing house in Victoria?
18. What does a schoolhouse count?
It's his house. I'm not sure.
House.
Sorry, buddy.
I'm gonna guess 1850.
Okay.
1845.
All right.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'd say maybe 1870.
1870. I don't know who's closer. It was 1852. I guess that is Vince.
Almost right in the middle.
What's the house?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, it is. Sorry, it is the Helmeken House near the Royal BC Museum.
Oh, in like Thunderbird Park with all the totem poles right downtown.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's the oldest house in all of Victoria. Next question. This one, we're right now. We are on Oak Bay Avenue. What was Oak Bay Avenue's nickname back in the day due to its high-end shops and boutiques?
Tweed curtain. I know that's what it. No.
I have no idea.
It was called The Village.
Oh.
That's not. I don't know.
You didn't like that one? Didn't like that one?
No.
All right. What is currently the tallest building in Greater Victoria?
Hudson Place 1, isn't it?
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
All right, Vince. 1 for 3. Fourth question we have: which Greater Victoria municipality has the lowest residential property tax rate as of recent years?
Definitely not Esquimalt.
No, they're one of the highest, I think.
I feel like it should have been Langford because
They just have so many things.
they just seem to have a lot of things going for them.
Yeah.
View
They
Royal.
have recently raised their property taxes though.
I know. Yeah, there's an uproar about that,
Yeah, big
and rightly
uproar.
so. I think it's
Bring
View
back
Royal.
Stu Young.
Yeah, yeah, Stu, if you're listening,
Big fans.
we miss you.
David, do you have a guess?
I have no idea.
No idea. Come on, give me municipality.
I'm gonna say View Royal.
View Royal. Okay, 2 View Royal.
Yeah.
We actually have the Highlands.
Hmm.
Not many things to spend money
Not
on
a whole
out
lot
there.
to spend money on.
They have a fire hall, I think, and that's about it.
Do they even have traffic lights?
No, they don't have
amazing.
Not
anything.
one traffic
Yeah.
light. No.
And you get far enough out there, it just turns into dirt roads. So, and then our last question: what is the smallest municipality by land area in Greater Victoria?
By land area.
Come on, guys.
Smallest
2 out of 5. You got
municipality.
this.
I'm doubling down. View Royal.
Okay.
Is it Colwood? No, View Royal, I think, too, actually.
Yeah, you guys got
Yeah,
it. 2
View
for
Royal.
5.
Finally. Okay.
There we go.
All right. Not a passing grade today, but thank you for playing.
We'll do better next time. Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. And before we get started with the nitty-gritty parts of the podcast, just want to give a shout out to our sponsor of the podcast, Canine Car Care. Canine Car Care has come to the office and actually clean my car while we recorded the podcast. They did an awesome job. I was really impressed by the results. They offer remote car detailing inside and out. They offer 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And they state that a clean car equals instant confidence.
And there's a really cool promo that the owner is running right now. So this is a specific call to action. So if you're driving or if you're running around, pull over, pull out your phone, text the word real estate to their phone number. And what they'll do is they'll give you a free car detailing if you get a subscription to car detailing. I've never heard of this, but the idea is, look, your car is going to get messy again. So why not get a subscription, and they'll give you free detailing up front so you can really try out the product and really appreciate it, and then have regularly scheduled detailing once a quarter or something like that. So for listeners of this show, if you text real estate to the number 250-986-5210, the owner will get you a free detailing as part of a subscription. So it's a really cool idea to just kind of keep your car clean year round. We get haircuts regularly. Why not get your car cleaned regularly?
And more details can be found at caninecarcare.com. All right, guys, weekly stories. I ask you every podcast. I'm guessing you guys come.
We're always shocked.
What's going on? Do you want me to start?
Please.
All right. So we're in the middle of September. For me, it's been a crazy busy September. As soon as, all the kids went back to school, or even a little bit before that, I kind of noticed an uptick in terms of just activity from everybody. Like everyone's, plans all finished for the summer. And, right now I have 8 listings, including the development at 1789 Emerson, 6 brand new townhomes on the border of Oak Bay. Messages for detailed pricing starting at $774. And all the listings are getting tons of action. We're getting showings weekly. We're getting inquiries, and working with a lot of buyers as well right now who are just kind of looking to pounce on something early in September here. And when looking at the stats, and maybe it tells a little bit of a different story, but right now we don't have September stats, so maybe we will see that uptick in volume and stuff heading into, further along into the fall. But that's what I've noticed. What about you guys?
Yeah, definitely. We say this every year. Second spring is a real thing, and it usually happens as soon as the kids are back in school. So kids are back in school, you look at your partner and you say, hey, let's move before Christmas. And that really, really connects every September, except for maybe the last couple of years with interest rates the way they were. Things were a little bit more muted, but I'm definitely feeling it. Couple of actually multiple offers, which it's been a while since I've gone through that. But had a couple of deals that we actually missed out on because there were multiple offers. And that's not something we've been seeing for a while. So busy.
I would say a majority of the properties I'm writing on right now are multiple offers, which is it's because mostly what we're hunting right now is single family with most of my buyers. Yeah. And when good product hits the market, it's just kind of inevitable. Or a big price drop happens, and then you put that offer in, and all of a sudden the 2 other people that were sitting on the sidelines as well jump in, and yeah. What about you, David?
I guess going back to that point with multiple offers, maybe I should leave it for my mortgage minute, but basically with that, I just always encourage my realtor partners and my clients to come to me before they write an offer on this multiple offer situation, so that I can give them the go ahead to make their offer unconditional, or to make their offer stronger. But I've always I've been at this a while, as you guys know, and we've all been through this multiple offer market before. And I always say to all my clients, look, if you're going into a situation where it's going to be multiple offer, you really probably need to make your offer unconditional. Maybe get your inspection done beforehand, and then just get the confidence from me and my team that, hey, if you win the bidding and get the property and you're unconditional, you can be confident that we're going to get you the mortgage, because nobody wants to make an unconditional offer on something and then obviously not get the financing that they need. That's why I'm proud of my record. We're still 100% closes, meaning none of my clients have ever lost any money on any purchase, or they've never lost a deposit.
Right.
So when I say that a client can go make an unconditional offer,
you're confident.
I'm confident.
Yeah. It seems like you're 100% confident.
100% confident. Yeah.
And as an anecdote story, when I bought my house, David actually called me to let me know I could go unconditional in a multiple offer situation. So
And it worked?
it worked.
There we go.
And now I have my house. So
You're part of the 100%, Adrian.
I'm one of those 100.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, David, anything else you want to touch on weekly?
My update is that the kids are back to school.
Yeah.
Your
free time has opened up a little bit.
The one time that I was actually playing volleyball. So I don't play sports too much these days, but back when I was younger, I played a lot of sports.
Right.
And I did play volleyball in a league, when I was an early adult or younger adult, I guess. And I think I just thought I'd jump right back into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up playing volleyball on a wet grassy surface.
Yeah, I see where this is going.
And I slipped and my ankle went like that kind of thing.
Oh, no.
And it's still sore, but about a week and a half later when it still wasn't healed, I did decide to go into the hospital and get an x-ray. Luckily, thankfully, it's not broken. But I think because I haven't been able to run, I've gained about 20 pounds. So,
all right. So winter lock-in for David.
Winter lock-in for me.
lock-in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I better be vigilant over the Christmas season. And it's sugar. Sugar is just my killer also. Like,
well, it makes you feel better. You don't look like you've put on 20 pounds.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Maybe it's the haircut.
Maybe it's the haircut.
Yeah. Awesome. So summary of the podcast today, we're going to have a small debate on what the best investment for under $1 million is. We're going to get a mortgage update with David. We're going to get into some real estate news relating to rental prices. We're going to do a neighborhood highlight of Oakland's and then a market update with Vince. So let's get into it. So guys, I asked you, what investment property for under $1 million would you buy? Where? What? Tell me.
I saw one. I'll start. Actually, I was just talking to a client today, and I saw one on Arlene out in like Mackenzie Carey area, Mackenzie Road and Carey Road area. And it's a house with a suite. It is listed at $950 right now.
Okay.
Or $949, I think. And I mean, just a house with a suite. It looks fairly updated. A lot of people will be turned off by the location.
Right.
But at the same time, I think that location will probably really work for a lot of people who need to take the bus or whatever. And then there's a lot of people out there who don't necessarily mind the location being where it is. So it looks to me like a good investment. But I would generally say that really single family dwelling under $1 million, if you can find it and you like the location, especially
and with a suite, good
with
job.
a suite. So that's mine. But I generally like single family dwellings for investments.
Yeah, I'm looking through the photos now. Looks pretty clean. Looks like a nice property. I think the main negative, but also maybe could be viewed as a positive, is that it's right off of Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Which if somebody hates busy roads and stuff like that, that's obviously not going to work for them. But maybe if we take a look at the OCP and zoning, and who knows, maybe this gets bought out and turned into townhomes or a condo building in the future, and that is kind of an investment play on that end as well. So, David, I like it.
Okay.
All right, Vince, what you got for me?
Oh man.
All right.
I mean, you guys do so much research on this. I just I'm flying by the seat of my pants over here. So, in the past, I've kind of highlighted half duplexes as a kind of an alternative in that they have lower maintenance costs than, say, a condo. You don't have the strata fees, but you're not paying the premium for single family detached land that has, future potential value. So if you're just looking at like a cash flow, you just want to get good renters and just ride that thing out for the next 30 years, half duplexes are an interesting opportunity. And I had the chance to go through one in the Cook Street Village, which is incredible. You go into this place and it's like a time capsule. It's Tracy Menzies listing over on Chester, and it's 460A Chester if you're Googling along at home. And it's such a cool thing to see these heritage kind of duplex places where they have managed to stick a one-bedroom suite in the basement. So for the price of, well, it is, I'm cheating, it's a little bit over $1 million. It's they're asking, I think, $1,070,000.
Yeah,
$1,080,000
here.
Yep. But it's just this beautiful place in a killer location. So in terms of like a rental, I think it would be a beautiful rental property, fully renovated, but has a lot of character charm.
Yeah.
And then it has a totally detached suite as well.
Detached suite.
No, it's like a basement suite.
Basement suite.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a duplex that's on the front of the house, and then the back of the house is someone else lives there.
But in Cook Street Village.
Oh yeah, you're on a
So
beautiful tree-lined
that's-
street.
That's the location.
It's a killer location. So like as a rental, I think that would be an amazing thing. So my homework was show up with a great investment property for under $1 million. I failed, but this one at $1,080,000 to me stands out.
Hey, maybe we can get it for under $1 million. I'm sorry, Tracy. But you never
She's
know.
a tough negotiator. Shout out to Tracy.
I like it. Yeah. No, it's very beautiful. And this would be perfect for like if someone wanted the investment and didn't want to put any work or money in additional.
Oh, it's
money
turnkey.
in.
Yeah,
turnkey. Yeah,
I have to throw. There's another detail. So as you're going through the photos, and for people who are listening, whatever, who cares? But they've got this. It looks like wallpaper. This old sort of William Morris style green wallpaper in the living room, and you think, oh, cool. It's a period accurate wallpaper. The seller of this house, no joke, painted all of that by hand.
Oh my God.
And it looks like this historically, accurate reproduction. And you can't even see the brushstrokes because we're like, there's no way. We're like shining lights against the wall trying to see this. It is the most beautiful hand-painted wallpaper recreation I've ever seen. Zero investment result there. Like there's no reason.
No wonder they want $1,079,000.
I mean, I would. Yeah, the 80,000 difference is for the painting.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
That is very cool. I like that. Awesome. Well, thank you, Vince. I pulled up 2 properties. I pulled up solds just because I didn't want to cheat and maybe see what's actually out there. But there was one property on 2782 Foul Bay Road, and this one sold for $999,000, and it was a 6-bed, 3-bath, 3-kitchen house.
Three kitchens.
Yeah.
So
it's on Foul Bay Road. Not a huge lot, 6,000 square foot lot. But the caveat here is in the notes. I looked through the pictures and the house doesn't look like it's in crazy bad condition, but in the notes it did say lots of work needed. I don't know if that means roof. I don't know if that means, there's some foundation issues. I'm not sure, but the caveat is like maybe this wasn't actually under $1 million in term when you factor in, obviously all those fixes. But when you fully rent out this house, it would cash flow 3 different rentals, and then also being on Foul Bay Road, prime opportunity. I would do the minimum in terms of maintenance, fill that house up, and then when a developer inevitably reaches out to you to develop that land, you sell it for hopefully a lot more than you invested for in 2025. And then I had another one. This one's interesting. This was 4904 Cordova Bay, and it sold for $1 million on the dot. And this is interesting property right across the street on Cordova Bay, not on the ocean side, but on the opposite side. And half-acre lot, so massive lot, 4-bed, 3-bath, massive house too, 3,500 square feet. And it was like older, but like, not in disrepair or anything like that. But the caveat here is this home was the place of an unnatural death in 2015 and was remediated and then resold. So we'd have to do a little bit of digging.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a tough one to navigate because in our province, you don't have to disclose. We consider it stigma or stigmatized property, but you don't have to necessarily disclose it unless someone asks point blank. So that's kind of an interesting one. Rough.
Yeah. But anyway, normally this house would not sell for $1 million, and it did purely because of, I'm thinking this unnatural death that happened in 2015. And, what does that mean? Like someone was murdered in this house?
It can be. Oftentimes it's people take their own life. And that's actually, it's
maybe worse.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I would say the worst situation of an unnatural death that I've ever come across was actually in our textbook years ago with the licensing program, I think. And someone had been the target of gang violence. And so the question then became in that situation, if gangs are still targeting that house because they think, Larry, the drug dealer, still lives there. Does the next buyer now face a risk like that would be a latent defect where it's like, okay, it's actually dangerous to live here because I'm still on a hit list. So that one was kind of an interesting one. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, like as long as everything's been professionally remediated and someone's gone in and, cleaned it out, you have, specialized crews that deal with that. I wouldn't hesitate to go after it as long as there's no like connection to gang violence or drugs, that kind of stuff.
The only thing you would have to factor in here would be ghosts.
Oh yeah, but I mean Victoria, come on.
True.
Like
true,
lots
true,
of the
true.
houses will have ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys for playing my little game. I found this one harder. When you start getting to the million plus, I like maybe in the next one we're gonna look at 1.5. But at $1 million, I think investment property is a little bit tricky. Like I don't know. Like when I was thinking investment, like it was a little bit harder to think in that $1 million range. But anyway,
Well, and we talk about investment, and we just kind of throw, oh, that's just a catch-all phrase. But one of the things that you're mentioning, potential development, we always think that some rich developer with a monocle is going to come knock on the door and turn it into a high-rise. But there's a really interesting opportunity right now with all of the upscaled zoning. You could buy a place like the one on Foul Bay, 6,000 square
4
feet.
units.
4 units, and you could actually become what they call a citizen developer. And there's a fantastic pile of resources that are emerging online, these online communities, teaching you if you're an investor and you hold a rental property, you can DIY, redevelop, or at least get approval. And then once you've got the design approved and you've got building permits ready to go, then there's a big lift that comes in the value, because then a developer can just go in and actually build. They're not taking on any risk. Because that's a big risk that a developer faces if they have to jump through any kind of rezoning or development permit process. There's a risk for them in carrying that.
right.
So yeah, for anyone who's an investor out there and is waiting for some like monocled monopoly man to come by with a bag full of cash, you could actually just do it yourself. Check out Middle. It's MDDL. And they have a whole list of ideas and resources to kind of educate yourself. And it could be a really fun project. It might be a good idea to talk to a professional developer along the way, but there are some really great ways to kind of DIY it.
On that point, I would actually loop in, a handful of developers or at least one developer beforehand and say, hey, I'm going to start doing this. Would this be something you're interested in potentially purchasing? And then they're like, yeah, because that's what developers want. Like Vince said, they don't want to be holding a property, paying the interest during that year while they go through zoning changes. If you can hold the property while you're going through zoning and then sell it to them afterwards, they're going to pay more. They're going to pay you more money.
That's what's ideal for them.
Yeah,
for sure.
Awesome. So real estate news, Vince, we're going into your favorite topic, rental prices in Victoria.
Yeah, for once, I agree with these numbers.
Yes. I thought you'd be very,
they're
very
down.
That's
yes,
right.
rental
Yeah,
numbers
for the
are
record.
down.
Yeah.
So Victoria has fallen to the 5th most expensive city.
According to whom?
This is I had the
Probably rentals.com. I think that's where you get a lot of your stats from.
this. Yeah, I'd have to double check. But anyway, Zumper works with some sort of national association to gather these numbers. But anyway, we've fallen to 5th. We were 4th, and now we're 5th behind Vancouver, Burnaby, Toronto, and Halifax. And Halifax is the one that overtook us.
Wait a second. Halifax?
Yeah.
Did not see that one coming.
I think they have a supply issue. Obviously populations aren't as in demand over there, but
I think a lot of people did go though. Like
Yes.
a lot of people have gone to places like Halifax.
Well, that was one thing
or-
when I was looking at the report. The handful of places that actually had rental increases were Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Oh wow.
Like these small, cheaper places to live. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking you're probably right. Like people have maybe they've had a little bit of an influx in migration due to affordability.
Yeah.
Versus a lot of the bigger cities, Vancouver, Toronto, etc., and Victoria have all kind of decreased in terms of rental. And maybe it's because we're building more supply here, and those other places haven't really focused on that. I'm not sure because they haven't had as much of an issue. But anyway, rents are down 11 months in a row across Canada. But the average one bed in all of Canada is still $1,820, and 2 beds $2,256, and those are down 4% and 3% respectively year over year. Victoria, so 5th in Canada, 1 beds are at $2,090. Stable from last month, but they had a drop last month. And then 2 beds are at $2,700, and that's down 5.3% year over year. To comparison, Vancouver 1 bedrooms are $2,500 plus, and then going to Toronto, Burnaby, Halifax in that order. And so
So why is it so expensive?
why is it so expensive? I mean, we all know we have a limited housing supply, especially in Victoria and Vancouver. Like we're kind of landlocked, right? So if you wanna have a cheaper place to rent in Victoria, maybe you have to start looking in. Obviously the West Shore was the affordable place, and even
I don't think West Shore is that much cheaper anymore.
no, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
is
okay.
It was, and now you have to go even further. Maybe that's Souk now. Maybe
Mhm.
that's Duncan. Maybe that's the Malahat, etc. And so basically, due to land constraints, we just kind of have obviously housing supply and land constraint issues. And then in Victoria, we have obviously UVic, so we have and Camosun, we have universities, so we have lots of students coming through, and then we're a very job stable place with government, so
Right.
we have lots of professionals, and obviously lifestyle. We have lots of ocean, we have lots of nice weather and golf courses, and people want to live here.
I've heard that's changing. So there's
Yeah.
a forecast that migration to Victoria is actually going to decrease, and for the first time in a long time, they're projecting. I don't know who they are, but they sound pretty smart. They,
Some
yeah,
ominous.
some uppercase capital THEY. They are predicting that we're actually going to see a decrease in population. So you've got a little crystal ball emoji in your show notes here. Looking
do.
ahead, I don't think that rents are going to go up at all for the next 18 months. I've been wrong about my predictions.
I would agree with you.
But
yeah.
generally speaking, people are always asking, should I buy, rental property? If you're planning to hold it for more than 5 years, yeah, maybe you could probably get some deals right now. But if you're just trying to do it as a cash flow play, cash flow is not looking all that great in the short term. I don't know. That's kind of my take on it.
It's completely dependent property by property, right?
Yeah,
so, what if you're looking for a cash flow deal, you have to find it, right?
Yeah,
There's not gonna be...
and they are far and few between in Victoria. So yeah, but you would have to be kind of on it, and I think what you would need to find would be some sort of 3 to 4 bedroom unit house,
Mhm.
and 3 to 4 unit house, where if you average it per unit, you're paying less than $300,000 per rental, and then maybe you can cash flow.
I think one thing that we should, differentiate when we're talking about cash flow, though, is if a property doesn't necessarily cash flow, but the mortgage is still being paid down, the principal owing on that mortgage is coming down.
Mm-hmm.
So when I actually think about cash flow, sometimes I might only think, well, take the principal payment out of that scenario. Is the rent covering the property tax, just the interest, and the insurance?
Right.
And if it is, then that'll make that property look like it's cash flowing better because you're taking off the principal payment.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the other thing you have to factor in, especially with single family though, is maintenance, and a lot of the time it can be gravy, and then you have a roof that needs replacing, and all of a sudden you're 20 grand back, and you gotta, if you want to think about cash flow, that's a lot of income you would need to climb back out of that.
You definitely have to count in maintenance, obviously.
Yeah.
But
what is the percentage for maintenance if you're looking at cash flow for a house? Isn't it's high.
It depends. Are you a slumlord or what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I think usually when the bank's looking at it, they'll look at between 2 and 5% maintenance is kind of the cost that they're looking at. So that's of your revenue, they want you to be putting 2 to 5%. But I mean, they'll also be doing their performance with 5% vacancy, which is pretty high by Victoria standards.
Right.
But yeah, a really quick anecdote. I had a rental condo where, it's cash flowing ish. If you use David's way of doing it, that's mortgage broker math. Well, it's breaking even, but I'm paying down the loan. So I was feeling okay about that. But then we got hit with a special assessment for new balconies and, $8,000. And it was just hey, this letter comes in the mail. We voted on it. You've got 3 months, I think, or 2 months to come up with $8,000, and that's it. So that wipes out any profit for years. So that is a risk. That's definitely risk, and that's, I think, why I prefer single family or
half duplexes.
Half duplexes, exactly.
Yeah, the one thing about half duplexes though is you want to have a good neighbor. I guess, if one because I've seen half duplexes where one half is this meticulously maintained, updated version, and I've seen the other half and it looks like a trailer park.
No, but that's so true, and that can shift so quickly. But you also there's not as much hidden, whereas like a strata's depreciation report can have a lot of kind of gremlins hiding,
True,
like elevator maintenance issues that haven't been taken care of. You can kind of look. You see someone the next duplex over, and they've got like 8 cars in the back, and the roof's covered in moss and has a couple of those blue tarps. You're like,
I can
okay,
picture it now.
I kind of know what this person is gonna be like. And actually, on that point too, because it's technically a strata, if you want to do anything, you need to get 100% unanimous agreement, because there are only 2 voters, side A and side B. And if you don't both agree on where you're going and what color to paint the fence, you might have some problems. And the CRT, or Civil Resolution Tribunal, they see a lot of hearings from strata duplex owners, because they're, if you can't agree on something, you have to go to CRT. There's no like tiebreaker vote. It's just, if you can't figure it out, they'll help you figure it out.
I guess on that note, I'm curious about these places in Royal Bay that are the row homes, because apparently they're like townhouses, but they're no strata fees.
Oh, Langford's been doing that for a long time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they'll have. I had a listing in West Hills where it was like, they said they were so clear, it's not a duplex, but it had a shared party wall.
A shared wall.
And so it's single family detached, separate titles. And the way you look at that, I would say, is just the way you'd look at commercial downtown real estate with a 0 lot line. So a 0 lot line is where you have no side yard, and one brick wall from the neighbor's office building is right up against the brick wall of the other hardware store. And you just have to kind of figure out together, hey, if this wall has an issue, we need to work on it. But otherwise,
what about the roof?
Oftentimes they'll actually have a party wall that breaks up through the roof line.
Oh.
And so you're responsible for your half.
Yeah.
But in the case of that, I mean, every single family detached property that has a fence shared with a neighbor has the same kind of logic, right? Like, yeah, it's my own house, but if David, you and I are neighbors and we need to replace a fence, we're probably going to talk about splitting the cost, who's going to take care of it. And it's the same sort of idea, as long as there's no insurance. The insurance one is the thing that kind of scares me, because you just have a higher risk. If David sets his house on fire, it might burn the fence, but it won't hit my house. But if we have a shared wall, well, then I'd be a little nervous.
My house is burning too.
Yeah.
All right, David, mortgage update.
Okay, yeah. So we had we had an interest rate cut this week.
We did.
So I feel like I should be also doing one of those pictures where I'm holding up the sign saying your fixed rate didn't change. Because that's one of the most common questions we get is my rate going down?
People ask that on a fixed?
We get all different kinds of questions.
Some people's kids, I tell you.
We get all different whenever anybody just hears that the rates are going down, they automatically just phone. Which is, I mean, I'm okay with it. I like talking to people. I like hearing from them. And it only takes me 1 minute, 2 minutes to sort out their question, put them straight, and then send them on their merry way. But yeah, we did have a 0.25 cut to the interest rate. And the Bank of Canada, or Tiff Maclaren, he said that they are basically looking at a shorter time horizon for determining future interest rate cuts, which just means that they're going to be monitoring the data as it comes before they keep deciding to make more cuts.
How's that different from what they've always done?
Well, exactly. It's not really that much different. I think he's just literally stating it now and saying, like, he knows that he's going to get questions from the press as to when they're going to cut rates again. It's as if the rate cut this time wasn't enough for them. They want to know what's coming up next.
They always want more.
Yeah, we want more. So, no, it hasn't been different. But I think in the past they have sort of indicated, we're on the decline right now. Generally, what I think though now is that our economy did lose 71,000 jobs, and I was reading the article, and these jobs are full-time jobs of people in their prime working age. They're not just like
what
part-time
is prime
jobs.
Working age? I'm just curious.
The article, I don't think the article told me exactly what prime working age means, but I would imagine like our age maybe.
All right.
But I think the important thing to think about here is that our economy is losing jobs, and I think the jobs aspect of our economy is a very good indicator as to where things are going.
Yeah.
You know, because that's just the jobs indicator is an indicator of other things that might be happening within the economy. Companies are losing money.
Was there any indication in terms of where these 70, like what industries these 71,000 jobs came from?
No,
Okay.
just widespread. I think.
Yeah.
And it may not sound like a lot, but our unemployment rate is up to 7.1% now, whereas the Bank of Canada really wants to keep that number under 5%. So
That seems high to me.
7.1%, right? Yeah. So during COVID, I think people there was about 20% unemployment, but that was very short-lived, obviously.
Right.
And a lot of that was more on like the service industry kind of thing. But right now, yeah, it's an indication that a lot of companies have probably not necessarily lost money, but now they're scaling back operations maybe, or they're just not spending as much, or they're not being as bullish on what they're doing. They're sort of contracting versus expanding. And to me, it just spells out that we're heading into a period of recession.
Yeah.
You know, the dreaded R word.
Man, we've been heading that way for years. Everyone, I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it.
I can't wait. I think we just like this is a recessionary period.
Recessionary.
It's been happening. It's
oh man, I feel. Do you ever listen to the CBC and they're just like, this event happened pretty well, but there's no telling what will happen next. It's like guys, we're probably okay.
It's a normal part of the cycle.
Yeah.
Like our economy can't just always be slowly going up. That's what they're going for. But this is a normal part of the cycle.
Got it.
Yeah.
So basically, I do think that we are going to have more rate cuts coming. And I don't think that they're not going to go as low as they did in 2020 or 2021. No. Not at all. But I do think we have still some room to go down. So while I was all about our rate special over the last couple of weeks because it was a very good low fixed rate. Now I kind of look at it and think, well, I really do think fixed rates are probably going to bottom out at around 2.89%. I don't know why I get 2.89, but anyways, I think
sounds pretty good.
I think
that's actually lower than I think predictions have been. I mean, at least recently. I remember last time we chatted, we were kind of thinking
maybe
like
3 to
3.5,
yeah,
like as a minimum. So,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think now probably just as soon as it sneaks under 3, that's when people should maybe start locking in.
Right.
I think
around 3. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the more conservative folks might think about starting to lock in now.
Yeah.
Because
and when and how long is that period? Like if you're put your best foot forward, like in terms of a guess, like when are we going to be hitting that 2.893?
In maybe 9 months to a year.
Oh, this is perfect. My 3-year fixed mortgage just comes up for renewal in July.
Yeah,
David, this is.
But who knows?
Thank you.
But who knows? If more reports come out that say, oh, our economy is losing jobs at a faster pace and our GDP is contracting more than the 1.6 negative that it did in this last report, then we might see this happening sooner. But for now, I think it's probably still going to be another 6 months to a year. And then that's going to be, I think, the sweet spot for locking in.
Yeah. And you'd lock in like a 5-year fixed or.
Yeah. At this point in time, whenever anybody's locking in, I say always go for the lowest rate.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, why would you lock in for a shorter term but a higher rate? It kind of goes against the whole mindset about locking in. You're locking in for the long term.
Right.
Of course, that being said, if you know that you're going to sell the house in 2 years or 3 years, then don't lock in for a 5-year term.
Yeah.
But if you know that you're going to be in this house forever, or you're not thinking about selling or moving or changing anything, then sure, lock in for 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about somebody who's coming for renewal, say this month? Are you recommending go variable?
Before when I had the rate special. Before the rate special was tugged out from under me.
And what was the rate special?
The rate special was 3.69 for
insured,
high ratio, insured high ratio, and 3.99 for conventional.
Yeah.
Which was a good 0.5% lower than everybody else. But that was very quickly, the rug was pulled out from under us. And we literally had We had no time frame. We had no time frame to adjust. The lender just basically said it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm lucky. I got almost everybody in who wanted to get in on that.
Right.
But right now, I guess with the rates back hovering at around 4.25,
Yep.
I might say, wait, go on the variable now and wait 6 months to a year.
What's interesting to me, Dave, is even at 3.99, for me, in my head, it kind of sounds like if I only have to wait 9 months before I block in, like, wouldn't
1% lower.
Yeah, like, wouldn't that still be worth it?
I think so.
Yeah. So
yeah, I guess
it's tricky, right?
My problem is that because I've been doing this for so long, I think I have a little bit of PTSD from when I recommended everybody the variable rate,
and then it doesn't work out,
and then it kind of, a lot of people, they weren't mad at me, obviously.
Yeah.
But they were kind of, they kind of kicked themselves and said we should have locked in.
Yeah.
But at the time, if I'm able to offer my client 1.4% versus 3%, everybody's going to take the 1.4%.
Yeah.
Especially because at the time I only thought, okay, if rates even go up by 2% or by 2.5%, you're only going to be slightly over what you would have locked in at. So I got a little bit of PTSD from that.
Fair.
I'm a little bit older. I've lost more of my hair, and I'm a little bit more of a conservative guy.
Yeah.
So now I say to people that, hey, if you are of a conservative mindset, then the 3.99 is a good bet.
It is a good
because
rate.
as the rate keeps going down, the chance that the rate is going to go up becomes higher.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, a little bit tricky right now. If you like a little bit of risk, go variable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always been the case.
Yeah,
isn't
it is. Well,
right?
I would say like not when interest rates were climbing. Was that still the case? I feel like people were kind of like risking.
At that point, people locked in. But I mean,
Yeah.
still, I don't know. Like personally, I've just always done fixed. I think once in my life I've done variable, and I regretted it. Not because I was losing. Like I would actually save some money on it every month when rates were going down a little bit. But just for my own peace of mind, and this is something we keep harping on over and over in this show, is it's not just about the numbers. It's also about like there's emotion that goes into this, and knowing what your payments are for the next 5 years. Actually, maybe not a bad thing, even if you're overpaying in air quotes by $100, but then you don't care when Governor Maclaren pops into his little press conference. You don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
And to me, there's a huge value in that, because then I can just go on and focus with the things that I need to focus on and get on with my life rather than worrying about, what tariffs or, I don't know, other external things are going to have an impact on my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
The other quick thing that I wanted for my mortgage update, is lenders are just being extremely annoying now with regards to their document audit.
And sorry, this is new?
It's not really new, but even lately, I've just had a couple files where even me and my team try to be so diligent about getting everything we possibly can up front, thinking about every possible document. And now these lenders are coming to me and saying, I think we want the report card of the 6-year-old, of the 10-year-old kid in the house. It seems like these, just
grades is he getting?
just document requests that are just like, come on.
What's the weirdest document you've had requested in the last couple months, for example?
For some reason, and I don't want to be getting, sensitive or political here, but one thing that some of the banks are asking for is that if they see a single lady, but they have a child, the banks are asking for a separation agreement. And that's assuming that single lady was in a relationship when they had that child. And then so with the one bank, I go back to the bank and I say, this is so stupid. This is borderline discriminatory. Why do you think that there should be a separation agreement here? And this was actually for a lady who has a kid who was like 23.
Yeah.
So it's like,
cancel the banks.
Yeah, cancel the banks.
Cancel them. You heard it here first, folks.
No, but it's just they think that there's a document there that we can produce, and we try to tell our underwriter there's no document we can produce because this person was never married or in any kind of common law relationship.
Right.
And then
over 20 years ago.
And then we still and then the underwriter still gets still forces us to get a statutory declaration from that client.
Oh my god.
So
Just saying that like the guy went out for milk. And he'll
Well,
be back?
just saying that,
That
just
there
saying that,
isn't,
just saying that
document.
there isn't a separation agreement.
Oh,
Right.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I
Because
guess you
there
could
was-
make a
there was
statutory.
because there was never a marriage or a common
Got
law
it.
relationship.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man.
Crazy.
So you could just make a statutory. Like, do you have to go and get a? I know we're getting into the weeds here, but I'm just curious. Do you have to go and get like a lawyer to?
You do
take
it
an
at the
affidavit?
lawyer's office. The lawyer who's doing the
good
conveyancing will do
grief.
the statutory declaration also for
Man.
you.
And yeah,
It's gonna be
bank's not
another-
paying for that extra.
No, and the
declaration.
bank doesn't pay for the extra cost for the
No.
statutory declaration.
Yeah.
No. There was another listing actually where there was no stove in the suite.
Okay.
And so my lender wouldn't use the rental income because there was no stove, even though there was a space for the stove. And you could see the proper outlet for
You
the
have to
stove.
produce a receipt from Home Depot
So
for a new stove.
just ridiculous things.
I have a really crazy anecdote about stoves and qualifying for mortgages. So this wasn't me, but someone I know. They were told by their mortgage broker that they needed to have this stove in a suite. So they had the seller take a stove from Craigslist and just stick it in the
Slide
suite.
it in.
No wiring.
No.
Like the stove was just sitting there next to the counters in this like old. It wasn't a laundry room, but it was this room that had no wiring for a stove. And the bank said, "Yeah, looks good."
Yeah.
And they went
It's
for
kinda
it.
ridiculous. They could have found that stove on the side of the road, because I'm just finding so many things on the side of the road now. Like it seems like the place. It seems like
This is turning
people's-
into a Seinfeld episode.
it seems like people. It seems like people just want to dump all of their things on the side of the road. And I'm just like, oh, there's a vanity sink that somebody's just going to randomly drive by and pick up.
So David, you could put like everything that you pick up, just throw it in your backyard, and that could be one of your mortgage broker services. It's like,
Right.
I've got a suite you could borrow. Just like set it up.
Sweet for rent.
Yeah, just like 48-hour rentals. Get some photos.
That's good.
There's a whole side hustle there.
Oh my god.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, getting into side of the road things. Oh geez, what did I just delete on my document here? 1 second, sorry guys.
Yeah, what's a neighborhood that has a lot of good junk on the streets?
Exactly.
Speaking of Foul Bay Road, there's always stuff on Foul Bay Road.
Yes.
Always
Well, we're gonna
on
get
Foul
into
Bay.
we're gonna get into that. So the neighborhood highlight what we're doing is Oaklands, and personally, I live in Oaklands, and one of my wife's favorite pastimes is walking around our neighborhood and bringing home new garbage for us to find places for in our house. So if for anyone not familiar, Oaklands is located just north of downtown Victoria, bordered by Fernwood, Jubilee, and Hillside Quadra area. Personally, I love this neighborhood. I think this neighborhood is super underrated, underpriced in my opinion. Well, I mean, I think it's actually starting to climb up, but it's one of the city's more established residential neighborhoods. Growth began in the early 1900s. They have the Oaklands Community Center, which has, giant fairs every Wednesday in the spring and summer. They do community garage sales throughout the whole of Oaklands. They have Oaklands Park, which has pickleball and a giant field and tennis courts. And yeah, just has lots of good community spaces in this area. It's kind of a good mix between residential and city living, in my opinion. The housing is a mix of character homes, ranging from early 20th century to mid-century, single family, and then along some busier streets, there's some newer townhomes, duplexes. It's known as one of the more affordable core neighborhoods compared to Fairfield, Fernwood, and then heading into Oak Bay. Good luck. Green spaces, Oswald Park, Hillside Park, Oaklands Park. They have lots of elementary schools nearby as well. Really well connected transit and bike routes, offering quick access to downtown and also to University of Victoria and Camosun College. Family friendly, active, tight knit, lots of local engagement throughout the community, and walking distance to Hillside Shopping Center and kind of other local shopping
Mayfair?
cafes. No,
Is it closer to Hillside?
Hillside.
Oh, Hillside.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's technically Oakland's, or Hillside is in Oakland's, I believe. Yeah. What are you guys' thoughts? Tell
Kind
me
of
about
the north
Oakland's.
end, but
Yeah.
I love it. I also live in Oaklands. Highly recommend. And there is a killer deal in Oaklands right now.
Oh,
Bit of a fixer-upper.
okay.
Single family detached on a 6,500 square foot lot for get this, $848,000.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
There you go.
This is actually one of my neighbors.
Yeah.
272.
Bit of a fixer upper, but built in 1928. It's listed with Mark McDougall. Shout out to Mark over at Royal LePage. And $850,000 for single family detached, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,700 square feet on a 6,400 square foot lot. And it's actually got a bit of a view too, because it's up on a ridge. So worth checking out if you've given up on owning a single family detached. Maybe you should just buy a fixer upper in Oakland and call
These
it
are
a
the
day.
deals right now. I feel like
There are deals out there.
houses in this area, houses in like the Victoria Core area for under 900. Like
Yeah.
these are deals.
I am finding there is the last 2 deals I've done. In both scenarios, I was like, wow, we got an unbelievable deal on both of these properties. And so I think people. I think the scenarios you gotta look out for are someone prices too high, and it sits on the market for 5 months, and they do a bunch of price drops, and then they're primed for $100K under ask offer, and you can sneak it in there. In my mind, I've gone into both of these being like, there's a 2% chance this is gonna come together, and then it comes together, which is crazy. In this area, I really like it. I'm on the north side. For me, Cedar Hill Recreation's right there, so I can go to the gym, 2-minute walk. Cedar Hill Golf Course. Technically, this is not in Oakland.
Beautiful place to walk around there.
Yeah, I go for a run around the golf course. It's great. And then, obviously, for me, Hillside Mall being there is amazing. I will walk to the grocery store. If I'm making dinner and I'm like, oh, I don't have green onions. Well, guess what? I'm going for a 4-minute walk to the mall and getting some.
To Thrifty Foods there.
Yeah, or Walmart or
Walmart. Yeah.
Yep. In terms of restaurants and cafes, it is a little bit lacking. Other than like Hillside Mall has like in that area has like a densified version, but the rest of Oakland, I mean, there's a Chinese food East Garden restaurant, actually really good.
Is that pretty good?
I've been there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Have you been
I
there?
walked by and I'm like, I'm
East
not sure.
Garden? Is it on like Cedar Hill Road or something?
It's in actually like the residential portion of Oakland, like right near the community center, like right across the street from the community center. Yeah, it's a kind of like a weird place to have a commercial or restaurant, but it's not bad. And then coffee is an awesome little local spot, always packed. You go there on a weekend, there's just people sitting outside.
What's it called?
It's KOFFI.
Oh, coffee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in that little, what is that little kind of village called?
Haltane Corners.
Haltane Corners. There's a little market. They have a barber shop in there.
Is there a fish and chips place there?
No.
That's a couple blocks down.
Haltane Fish and Chips.
Yeah, it's still around.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And then going on the south side, I think this is like technically Jubilee area, but then Marta is a newer, I want to say Japanese restaurant, and it's also very good. But yeah, I really like it because you get that residential community feel, but then the accessibility from Oakland is amazing. You need to go to Willows Beach, 5-minute drive, 10-minute drive. You want to go downtown, 5-minute drive. You want to go to Langford, you have access to the highway. You want to go up basically anywhere in Victoria.
Man, Adrian, I live there and you're selling me on it. This is incredible.
Yeah.
Wow, this sounds so good.
Yeah, I want to live here.
Yeah. Like I didn't expect myself to like Oakland as much as I do, and I have fallen in love with it. And purely because like you head up to the Uplands area, and all of a sudden houses are 1.5 to 2 million plus. And if you think about it, that's a 1.5-minute drive away.
Location.
I mean,
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like you're getting pretty much the same location, obviously not as like upscaley and fancy and maybe private, but you're getting that same central location for a huge discount in terms of
huge
price.
discount. Yeah.
Well, and also just even naming, like if you're not from Victoria, you might know that Oak Bay is considered a nicer area, and Uplands is considered a really nice area.
Then
Oaklands. I mean, come on, it sounds like the fanciest place you could live.
Like, oh, I live in Oaklands. If you put like a little bit of a
je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, you put a little bit of an accent on there, people will be like, oh. Maybe they're from the West Shore. They don't know. Just kidding, West Shore. I grew up there. You can't be mad at me. But yeah. Anything else you guys want to highlight from?
Well,
Oakland?
today on the MLS in Oakland, there are 3 houses under $1 million. So don't give up, people out there. There are still affordable ish.
Any of those have suites?
No, don't be ridiculous.
Sorry. My apologies. But yeah, I mean, I bought my house in Oakland, and it was a 6-bed. 4-bath, and I got it for 1.14, and for me it was like yeah, like I don't know, like
Good thing we got that one done.
Yeah.
Because you love it.
yes. Thank
Yeah.
you, David.
Thank you.
Awesome. Should we get into our market update and round this podcast off?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, Vince, take it off.
All right, so market update. What the heck happened? Generally speaking, we saw August was kind of a little bit of a soft, not the most exciting market after a stronger spring, and condos are the ones that are struggling the most. But that makes sense if you're someone who could barely qualify for a condo mortgage, and then you look at the price of rents and you look at your neighbors are renting. Well, sometimes it actually makes more sense to just rent for a little while. And right now rents are coming down. Condo prices have come down as well, but just generally speaking, the condo market it's struggling. Single family home sales are trending up since 2022. And it's really interesting. I'm going to just jump down to the price. Home prices, they're holding steady. So despite all the doom and gloom from David over here with the job market, things are holding steady. And I think a huge part of that too is just people say, oh, well, I guess I won't sell this year.
Yeah.
Oh, the market's a little slow. Okay, I guess I'll just live in my paid off house in
that's what you'll see when people go to sell. They're they're sitting for a longer period of time because they want a certain price.
That's
then
right.
eventually, like you reach out and you're like, hey, we're willing to do 100K under, and they're like, well, they're just gonna rent it. They're gonna just hold. They're not gonna sell it for that.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Doom and gloom. I don't think doom and gloom when I think like recession. I think opportunity for people that are ready, for people that are set up, right?
Yeah.
This is where people can get a really good deal on a property.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Right?
that's true.
And this is also an opportunity for some people to say, okay, I'm just going to keep the house that I'm living in and rent it out because it's going to be harder for me to sell, and then buy another one. And then in the next hot market, I'm going to have two properties increasing in value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And then another trend that we're trying to keep an eye on is months of inventory. So that's a really good metric for you as a buyer or as a seller to just say, okay, how many months, if no new listings hit from today forward, how many months would it take for us to sell every listing that's currently on the market? And months of inventory in August was up a little bit. So we had just over 4.5 months of inventory compared to just over 4 months earlier this year. So call it a 10% increase in months of inventory. That's showing a cooling trend. So if you're a seller, it's less exciting to be a seller now. But
I wonder if, like, for example, I would have to double check the stats, but I mean, July and August, slow months.
Usually, yeah.
And then does that mean like months of inventory could climb by 10% during those months? And
Oh, yeah.
It isn't actually indicative of a
But,
cooling market?
You know,
like,
a lot of people also aren't selling, like they're just not listing their house in
Yes, that's a
August,
good
right?
point,
They're
yeah.
just going to the lake. And
yeah, well, another point on inventory is a lot of the new inventory is relists.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like a falsified new,
that's a good
new
point.
inventory as well.
Cancels and relistings or
Yeah.
expireds and relistings.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think, that's a practice that is just most savvy buyers are going to see through that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But then again, you go sometimes on realtor.ca and you say, oh, what are the new listings in the last 24 hours? And I thought I saw that house before. Oh, yeah, I did. But I'll take another look at it. So it's something that like we all know is a generally accepted business practice that we all kind of roll our eyes at, and yet we all do it. And I'd love to see a world in which we create some kind of framework to stop doing that. But yeah, for now,
I'll keep doing it.
we're going to keep doing it. Yeah, because it's just something that the whole market kind of does. And so we're just going to keep doing it. And then, I think final thing is, David really covered this, but the rate cut, it's not going to do a huge, I don't see it doing a huge thing to,
affordability.
It's not really going to make a huge difference, but it just is more of a signal. And I think that's what David was saying. Like, people want to know a signal. It's like, I don't care if the news is bad, but I want to know, like, what can I look forward to in the next year? And I think that's one of the reasons why inflation went crazy back in 21 when it did, because old Governor Maclaren said, we are not going to be raising rates for a very long time. And the minute you say something like that, everyone starts to say, okay, now I know what kind of environment I'm in, and I'm going to keep, I'm going to make big business decisions and life choices based on some certainty. And then, of course, we got the old rug pull and the fastest increase in interest rates that we've seen in over 40 years.
Since basically 1980.
Yeah. It was just shocking. So I can see why a lot of people, kind of caught there. But right now, we're just looking for someone to stand in front of a microphone and say, hey, things are going to be this way for the next 2 years. And then, okay, now we can move on. So my hope is that this small rate cut signals that it is okay to start shopping around for real estate again.
Yeah, well, I
and
think the
getting
rate
excited.
cuts, what it's good for is sentiment.
Bingo.
Mhm.
That's it.
Because like all my buyers are like, oh, like the rate cut went, or my sellers are like by 2.5. Like that means people are going to be like, like excited, and
Mhm.
and like that's true. Like if people are told recession,
Right.
they're just like a feeling. You
Right.
hear the word and you want to tighten up.
Right.
Versus like economy's booming. You're like, whoa, loosen up a little bit.
Mhm.
Like it's and people make decisions based off sentiment. So yeah.
So yeah, I think generally speaking, what we can look forward to this fall is there's going to be more activity, and we're seeing that. Like Adrian, you and I were talking about that at the top of the show here. We're definitely seeing that going on right now. Typically, that rush will go until about Halloween, and then in November, people take their foot off the gas again and slow down until the spring. So that's generally where we're at in the market. If you have questions, if you actually want to see some graphs and see some of that, we do write about it on the blog, like it's 1995. But also always happy to jump on a call with someone if they want to see, okay, how are the numbers trending, and kind of get more granular. We have access to all that, and always happy to talk about it.
Yeah, and David also has one of the best, or not one of the best, the best mortgage newsletter that goes out. So if you want to be added to that as well, reach out and we can connect. Awesome, guys. I think that rounds out all of our topics. You guys good to finish up?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was extra fun today.
Yeah, it was extra fun. Awesome. Well, thank you for listening to the Victoria Real Estate Podcast, produced by the CityNest team. We have had some fantastic reviews and we love them. So please leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you're listening. We also really appreciate you guys sharing the podcast with friends and family. Otherwise, Vince, David, how can people get in touch?
Send me an email. It's vincent@citynest.ca, or check out my blog.
Just go to my website and fill out the contact form.
Yeah.
olympicmortgages.ca. Or you can call me, you can email me, whatever. All those things.
Perfect. And you can reach out to me, Adrian, at 250-464-4122, or on Instagram at Adrian Real Estate Victoria. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.